Okay, I'll take some questions.
Coach, what did you think went wrong ultimately there in the second half?
We were two different teams. Right now I don't have an explanation for that. I mean, first half we played totally lights out. I thought we played great in the first half. And that was still with 3 turnovers and 5 penalties, you know. And what I thought going into the half was, if we eliminate the turnovers and the penalties, we're gonna boat race these guys. I think, you know, first of all, James Madison did a good job. You know, I don't think they're a better team than we are. That's a problem. You got to live with, these are the losses you live with that you just like, you don't sleep at night. I don't know what happened in the second half. I have to think of it. I think about it. I have to look at the tape. But, you know, if you look at it, there were 3 big plays by them. It was 3 plays in the game that killed us. It was a 73-yard pass to Dollison. It was a 43-yard pass to Cam Ross, and it was Cam Ross's end-around play. It was 3 big plays, and I thought our defense played really well in the first half, and then, you know, not as well in the second half. And I thought our offense, you know, it's interesting because our offense was like moving the ball but not scoring any points. And you know, we you know, I have to go back and look at that and see what that's all about. I mean, we were 7 of 19 on third down conversions. They were 3 of 11. You know, we outpossessed the ball, time of possession. I guess the big thing is we had 76 offensive plays to their 60, but they had 3 explosive plays, and we didn't have any really. You know, it just seems like when you watch us from the sideline, like we get a ball, break past the line of scrimmage, and it seems like really hard for us to kind of outrun anybody. And the same thing in the pass game. I don't think the offensive line played great tonight. You know, I thought the quarterback was running for his life a lot, and we didn't rush the ball. I mean, we rushed the ball for 31 times for 131 yards. And, you know, a big part of our game plan and breaking them down is we thought we could rush the ball against them. And now, we did have some injuries along the offensive line, but I'm not going to use that as any kind of excuse, you know. The guys that went in are on scholarship, and we coach them. And next question.
X threw the ball 45 times tonight.
We can't beat anybody doing that.
Obviously, trailing, you want to air it
Yeah,
out.
I mean, I thought the game dictated a lot of that, but you know, we didn't feel like we had a lot of momentum running the football, and so we wanted to put it in his hands because he does make things happen. You know, even with the interceptions that he had, I was really pleased with how he played.
Got put in a couple really difficult positions. How taxing can those be, especially when you get later in the game?
It's really hard to have 3 red zone stops, and we had 3 in the first half. And then the defense, you get, to get those red zone stops, you gamble a little bit, right? And, the house always wins in gambling. So when you have to go to the well too many times, you wind up getting hurt. And, it was not, it's interesting because I'm not disappointed in them. There were so many things they did so well, like that we didn't see last year, right? So many things they did so well. And like I said to him at halftime, I said, that was about the worst half of football you can play, and we're down 2 points. 3 turnovers, a lot of mistakes. And I said to him, if we come out and play a cleaner game, we have a chance to win a football game. And we actually came out and did the exact opposite. Part of that is the first game these guys have played together. And that's the first game JMU's played together, too. But we have to learn at Charlotte how to win. And we don't know that yet. We don't know how to win yet. But I am encouraged about the football team. I think we have a good football team, and I think we're going to have a good football team. I really do. And we'll see. Time will tell. But we'll play next week, and we'll look at this one tomorrow, because tomorrow we'll work, and Monday's our day off. But and then we'll see what we can do to get better. It's not like it gets any easier because we go to Chapel Hill to play those guys. But I thought the spirit was good on the sideline as far as the offense and defense were encouraging each other. Had a few bumps, but you're going to have a few bumps in a competitive Division I college football game. The other thing I'll say is this, you look at our offense, and I said on the headphones in the first half, I said, gosh, this is going to be a fun year because we actually can move the ball. We can do some really exciting things. And I still believe that. We just have to go back and go to work, but that's what you do. That's what most teams, or at least half of the teams in the country, have to do. Because half of them come out of week 1 0-1, and you got to decide what you're going to be. And I think these guys, look, I really like these guys. I'm really proud of them. We showed some flashes of brilliance, and then some moments of, what's the opposite word of brilliance? Some moments of dullness. But these are all things that can be fixed.
The more physical team.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
Like the more physical team in the first half, defensive line was wreaking havoc up front, and then that kind of went away in the second.
Yeah, they played great. They are really good. We have a defensive line. We feel like we can play with anybody. I was a little, to answer your question, what happened in the second half? I think they got worn down. I just think they got worn down. And I also think that I was a little surprised by the deep balls against our secondary because we have 2 really good corners. Now, our starting safety didn't play, who might be our best player back there. But that's not an excuse. We gave up deep balls right at the wrong time too. It was like if you could say, okay, look, this is the exact wrong time to give that up. We did it. So, does that answer your question?
You mentioned how you don't think Charlotte needs to learn how to win. What do you think needs to happen for this team to learn how?
Well, you got to win some, right? And then they got to have confidence that they can win. And I have to tell you, I was personally very confident going into the game, even with the injuries. I was really confident going into the game. I really thought we were going to beat them. And I thought we were going to play very well, and we did play very well, except for a handful of plays. But, you know, smart coaches say that most games come down to a handful of plays, and they're momentum plays. And especially the explosive plays on their offense, you know, against our defense. Like, defensively, they really, you know, we had one ball hits a receiver and bounces up. That's kind of a fluke play. Max is trying to throw the ball away on one interception. He's running for his life, and he can't get it out of bounds. I don't think you'll see much of that anymore. I don't think we fumbled the ball. Did we fumble and lose the ball? Did we fumble and lose, or we fumbled and recovered it? Yeah. Does anybody know the turnover, so I don't have to look at it here? Do I have that?
You guys had 3 turnovers.
3 apiece?
3 to 2. 3 us, 2 for them.
3 O's and 3 down? Yeah. 2 down. 3 O's and 2 down. Yeah, so.
You mentioned the big plays at untimely spots in the game. Right out of the half, you guys take a timeout. Will you talk about what happened there, why you chose to take a timeout?
Yeah, we didn't communicate what defensive package we were going to be in, and so we had the wrong personnel on the field, and it's inexcusable, really. But I think it shows you a little bit about, we kind of came out of halftime fairly lethargic, and I don't know what that was about. You know, maybe we have to change our halftime protocol. Actually, maybe I was thinking about this, and I was talking to Louis Carello about this. I think we need to get on the field earlier in the second, after halftime. I don't think 4 minutes when you get out there. By the time you get out there, 2 minutes is enough to warm up before the half, and not for our guys. So we got to get out there. You know, I mean, I'd like to get out earlier and actually get a little bit more work. Actually, but we started the game, I thought, you know, they have a vaunted run game, and I mean that kid is number 7, the kid from North Texas. I mean, he's torn people up the last couple of years, and I don't think he had more than about 50 yards against us. He had 51 yards on 17. No, I'm sorry. He had 41 yards on 10 carries. Am I reading that right? Yeah. 41 yards on 10 carries. Oh, no. Sorry. 41 yards on 17 carries for a 2.4 a game. And you look at the rush, there was a big rush by the quarterback on a draw, and I just don't understand that. And then the Cam Ross end-around play, which was a really good call. Well, you know, you can always sit back and say, well, if you can change 6 plays, it's a different game. But you got to get to the point where you don't have to do that, you know. And anything else?
You have another tough opponent next week going to Chapel Hill on Saturday. What do you hope to see different on the field to come out with a different outcome next week?
Say that one more time.
You've got another tough opponent next week in Chapel Hill. What do you hope to see different in practice or on the field next week to get the win?
Well, I want to see how we come out of this one. You know, we played 76 snaps on offense and 60 on defense. So I have to see, you know, what they're like. I'm hoping we get some of the injured guys back. And Chapel Hill will be, you know, I always try to be very honest with you all. The thing that I and I know this doesn't sound right, but there are losses where you say, we got beat by a better team. And then there are losses where you say, holy smokes. And to me, this was a holy smokes. And, you know, that falls directly on me. Chapel Hill will be different because they will be highly talented at every position. I mean, they do a great job recruiting. They're very deep and they're loaded. Now, their quarterback, I hear, was hurt. But I expect those to go and like I always think this way about our team. I expect us to go and play really, really, really well. And, but I don't have a crystal ball. You know, all I know how to do is go back and break things down into minute details and then try to correct those things. And that's what we'll do. We'll build on the good things, and we will not belabor the things we didn't do so well, but we will correct them.
I've seen two different teams out there on the field. Can you pinpoint a moment for play where things split for you guys?
I'm sorry, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Sorry, Coach. You talked about seeing two different teams on the field today. Can you pinpoint a moment or play where things split for you guys?
Well, it was probably the end around. I think that really we were stoning them for quite a while, and then I think that end around, you know, that really gave him a chance to score going into the half, and you know, we throw the interception before, but again, that's a ball probably should have been caught, and you know, and then there was a great call by them because we felt like they couldn't run it inside on us. We just didn't set an edge, and you know, it was a good call.
Biff, just after the Rice game last year, kind of toward the end of the season, you were pretty blunt about the changes that needed to happen going into the offseason, and you were pretty aggressive in the portal and kind of shaking up the coaching staff a little bit. So given how intentional you were about trying to kind of revamp the team, is it a little more disappointing to see the offense kind of carry over some of those issues from last year being ineffective?
No, this is a marathon, not a sprint. And we have 11 more football games, maybe 12. So, no, I was encouraged by so much of what we did today. And if you sat in that stadium and watched that game, and you don't think this is a significantly better team than last year, then you don't know what the hell you're talking about.
When it was just kind of those little mistakes that seemed to take back those big plays you had, how hard can that be to build momentum?
Yeah, it can feel like it just kills the drive, and like you said, the momentum. Momentum is a huge part of the game, and just understanding that, yeah, you're gonna have good and bad plays. So it's football. You're gonna have the bad and the good. So just learn to weather the storm and understand what we can do better going into next week.
For Reed, kind of just talking about the discrepancy between the first and second half, what do you think happened? Because in the first half, like I said, the physical team, you guys are, the defensive line is getting, pressure. You seem the more physical team, and then second half didn't seem that way.
Yeah, I'd say like what Coach said. Just got a little tired. Second half, just a little more MEs, a little more miscommunication, and just the minor details that we need to fix. But yeah, mostly worn out, a little tired.
Let's talk about your game today. You threw the ball 45 times. You were on the run a lot tonight. Just thoughts on your first game as a Niner?
Yeah, I think there's a lot that I need to clean up. I take a lot of the responsibility of that loss onto myself. Can't turn the ball over. Usually when you lose the turnover margin, you lose the game. So just understanding the importance of taking care of the ball. And yeah, like Coach said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. So understanding what you can do better going into next week, and taking advantage of the week of practice and film watch and understand what we can do better.
It didn't end up going the way you wanted it to, but at the end of that first half, there was some aggression there, maybe to try to build on that lead. How much does that faith maybe mean in you from the staff?
Yeah. well, I know that going into the game they have faith in you. So it's just kind of normal faith that they've had throughout the whole summer and spring. So yeah, going into the half, it's hard to go and get scored on right before the half, caused by an interception. So the swing of the middle 8, the 4 minutes at the end of the first half and the 4 minutes at the end of the second half are huge, biggest part of the game. So just kind of being able to bear down going into that next week and understand the importance of it.
For Reed, you kind of mentioned fatigue, kind of down the stretch. Is that maybe more of just week one? You haven't been, in like a full football environment in a while, or is that what do you think contributes to that fatigue?
I'd say so. Just new team, getting comfortable with each other, getting comfortable with game-like reps, and getting comfortable with 4 quarters. We haven't done that since last year, obviously. So, yeah, just getting comfortable and staying in focus and staying in doing what we have to do. So.
And I can touch on that a little bit with kind of the offense being on the field more, and us being on the field more and not going in 3 and outs and ending drives, allowing them to get a breather. That can also help going into the second half and help them get their legs back and their breath back. So.
The game started out and getting you easy throws, quick things to kind of get the ball out of your hands, get you in a rhythm early. Do you think you guys went away from that, or what do you think kind of went into the offense not doing what it did early on in the game?
Yeah, no, I don't think we went away from it. I think there was just little details. Obviously, going and penalties will hurt you a lot, and turning the ball over. So losing the turnover margin and penalties, it's harder to lose the game. But like Coach said, we're down 2 points going into the half. So even down 2 points going into the half, knowing that you played the way that the things shook out in the first half the way they did is kind of promising. And yeah, you just got to be able to move past and understand it's football.
We're on the run quite a bit tonight, but a lot of it didn't seem designed. Do you want to do more with your legs as far as in the design game and getting out of the pocket, things like that? Do you feel like that fits your play style?
Yeah, I can move around, but it just kind of comes down to the play. I don't know. I'm so sorry.